Holiday season slash gift giving season is pretty much upon us. And today I'm going to talk about some really cool products from a really cool brand that I get to work with. They are based out of Montana. They're American made, led by founder Josh Smith. This is Montana Knife Company, based out of Frenchtown, Montana. I'm in Bozeman, so we're only like 2.5 hours away. It's just cool to work with a local company that's also crushing it. Really stoked to use their products and talk about them. First off, let's talk about a couple of their knives that they make. We'll start with this guy. This one is the mini Speedgoat. This is like an OG. I've used it pretty much since their inception, so probably the last 3 or 4 years. This is the smallest, lightest knife they make. I've skinned and caped everything from a tar in New Zealand, 4 different elk in Montana, a mule deer, 2 mountain goats. This guy has got a lot of use. The MKC logo is almost completely worn off. Wicked sharp knife, very light. And the next knife, it's basically replaced my mini Speedgoat just because I think it is a little bit more versatile, especially when you're dealing with game, dealing with critters. So far, I've just used it on an archery antelope. And this guy, it's called the Elkhorn Skinner. A little bit bigger blade, a little beefier. It's got a bigger, what they call belly, so like bigger curve on it. So with a really short blade, you don't get these like long sweeping cuts. You end up kind of hacking a little bit more. But with a bigger, longer belly, with like a longer blade, you just get these like long sweeping cuts, and you can be really efficient about how you're cutting up animals or how you're moving hides and skins and stuff. Elkhorn Skinner, I'm hopeful to be able to use this guy on a couple elk, hopefully in about a week. Hoping to put this guy through the ringer. All MKC knives do come with this Kydex sheath. It's just like a really nice, hard protective sheath. And on the front here, there is a tension screw. So you can tighten it or loosen it and get this blade in here as tight or as loose as you want. The next product from MKC, this is a Work Sharp knife sharpener. If you go on MKC's YouTube channel, they're gonna have a couple different videos on how they prefer to sharpen knives. I've always thought you just ran a knife through like a sharpener like this way. I would certainly get a sharper blade, but I would often get such a giant micro burr. I wasn't really having very good luck. And then I went to New Zealand, and our friend Jim down there, he had one of these, and he's like, oh yeah, Josh Smith showed me how he sharpened his blades. Again, reference the YouTube video Josh did. After learning the Josh Smith method of sharpening your blades, my knives are so much sharper now. This knife sharpener, it does weigh a couple, 2 or 3 ounces. The value you get out of this guy, the sharpness of the blades you get, it is well worth its weight in my backpack. Next up is some MKC Swag. So if you go on their website, they've got a ton of really cool hoodies, shirts, jackets, hats. Rep the brand. Next item. So my wife and I do a ton of just food prep, cutting of things, meat, veggies, potatoes, squashes, whatever, you name it. And fortunately, we haven't cut off any of our fingers, but if we did, I would absolutely want to cut my finger off using an MKC knife on an MKC cutting board. So this MKC cutting board, it's cherry and walnut, so it's really, really stout, really hard. It's 2 inches thick. It's got rubber feet, so it doesn't slide around or mar up your countertop. It's got a juice groove, so it's gonna catch all that juice and prevent it from sliding off. Karen and I, we've gotten rid of pretty much all of our plastic cutting boards, just trying to reduce microplastics in our life. This MKC cutting board gets a ton of use. And then if a burglar came in, which I don't think you'd really want to sneak into this household, we got lots of things, but first thing I would use on them would maybe be this, and then I would probably like hit them with this because this thing weighs like 10 pounds. Just go. Anyway, next item. This is one of MKC's culinary knives. They have a whole set of culinary knives. This specific one, this is called the Smith River, and this guy is crazy, crazy sharp. We do just so much food prep. I mean, like literally right now we have a freeze dryer going, and there's like all these items in there that we chopped up, sliced up, and primarily uses this guy to do that with. A couple things about this knife. It is Magna Cut steel, and it has been finished with a PVD coating for durability. It's got a super comfortable grip that's just like really contoured towards your hands and your fingers. These knives are wicked sharp, and we actually have a couple of these in our camper as well, because we do a bunch of just camper and kind of remote living. For years, we've always had standard kitchen knives you just buy at the local grocery store or whatever. When you first use them, they're great, they're sharp, but after a few months, they all lose their edge. They're not sharp, they're flimsy, some of them even break. With the amount of food prep that we're doing, or even just like slicing up steaks for dinner, it is so nice to have some legit knives in the house. I used to think a knife was a knife was a knife until I would spend probably more time sharpening those blades than actually like cutting and like doing the process. Recently, my wife and I were processing an antelope, with an MKC boning knife. The whole butcher process probably takes about 4 hours to do, maybe 3.5. But because we used like a legit wicked sharp knife compared to our previous cheap fillet knives, I mean, I bet we saved almost an hour in that whole process. Having a sharp, reliable knife, it just speeds up the process and makes it more fun, more enjoyable. Lastly, to revisit sheaths, all MKC knives, they do come with a Kydex sheath, but you have the option to upgrade to a leather sheath. And leather versus Kydex, it's really just personal preference. But if you want to get a really sick leather sheath, MKC partners with Teton Leather, Francesca Ricci, to make these guys. They're handmade, they're US made, just a really, really high quality product. MKC offers what they call their Generations Promise. So you can send in your MKC knife at any point for free sharpening and free maintenance. They will get your knife back to its original working condition, which is ridiculously sharp. So that is a quick run through of some of the MKC products I love and use. Anything from MKC would make for a heck of a gift for the outdoorsman in your family, and it would also be supporting a US made company and US made manufacturing. So go get you one.